Hey there, my name is Sage and you are watching D&D Daily. Today I'm doing a flavor build called the Mage Hunter. In order to play the Mage Hunter, you're going to be a Monster Slayer Ranger, a variant human, and you're going to take the Sentinel feat. Sultana was a mecca of trade, wealth, and magic. The magic got out of hand though, and the city met ruin under the weight of untamed magic. It's been a long time since the fall of Sultana, and has mostly faded into memory. But the memory of the fear of magic lives on in Sultana's descendants, the Dishi tribe. As a member of the Dishi tribe, the Mage Slayer has been trained in warfare from a young boy and has fought many battles on the desert dunes of his homeland. His people have trained specifically to battle spellcasters and have developed an offhand sort of magic that their warriors can cast quickly and efficiently. I kind of view it similar to like Witcher signs, just this not super powerful but kind of speedy magic. Any arcane, divine, or even nature magic that is too powerful is completely outlawed by the Dishi people. And there is a rumor going around that powerful spellcasters are looking to uncover the lost city of Sultana to sate their greedy power lust. Your tribal leaders have tasked you and your brethren to put a stop to these wizards' folly, at the sword if needed. The personality of the Mage Slayer is that he is very loyal, specifically to his people. Now that comes with good and bad. On the bad end, he is a bit sheltered and paranoid and untrusting of outsiders. On the good side, it means he is well trained and professional, and he is eager for combat. He would be consistently paranoid of magic, and that might be interesting roleplay if you have a mage in the party. In combat, the Mage Hunter is a striker with an emphasis on countering casters. We'll be using a scimitar. Rapiers are better, but it doesn't fit the flavor quite as well, so we're just letting go of it and using scimitars. That's what we're going to have in one hand, and we'll have a second hand ready to draw one of two weapons, either a hand crossbow, if range is needed, or a second melee weapon, either another scimitar or a dagger. The dagger is useful if we might need a thrown weapon. But we'll also carry a longbow in situations that our main strategy doesn't work. Now, what is our main strategy? Our main strategy comes online at level 2. We're going to take the blind fighting style and the fog cloud spell, which I'm going to flavor as a sand cloud. We're often going to spend our first turn diving deep into the enemy lines, getting right by our main target and then casting sand cloud in the most optimal spot, keeping our allies in mind. To this end, a mount is going to be super helpful for us because it can help us dive deeper into enemy lines faster. Once we're in position, we're going to rely on Sentinel opportunity attacks at advantage to keep our specific target enemy in the sand cloud. We're going to be relying a lot on this sand cloud to keep us safe while in combat because we are putting ourselves way out of position. So we really got to cover ourselves with that sand cloud. And we want to cover our specific target, and then we also want to cover any enemy that it's going to nerf, while keeping our allies in mind that we don't want to make their job harder. We're trying to divide and conquer, and we're just the spearhead for our team. In other words, the sand cloud is going to be our first form of offense and defense. Now at level 4, we're going to take another feat, the Mage Slayer feat. This feat allows us to consistently break our enemy's concentration, but also may give us some extra attacks every now and again. Keep in mind, if we use this as our reaction, we won't be able to use our Sentinel opportunity attack, so it's going to be pretty often that they're casting a spell that we choose still not to use this opportunity attack in order to keep them locked into the sand cloud. Now the final feature of Mage Slayer is that if we are within 5 feet of the person trying to make us do a save, we're going to have advantage on that saving throw. At level 3, we pick up Slayer's Prey. This allows us to do extra damage once a turn on one target, but at level 7, if we mark someone who makes us make a saving throw, we also get to add a d6 to our save. So it behooves us to target creatures that are likely to make us save, namely mages, creatures with powerful effects like dragons and vampires and other such baddies. So the combination of having Slayer's Prey, advantage from Mage Slayer, we are going to have really strong saving throws against our specific target. And since we already have a playstyle that isolates one enemy and keeps them pinned in a blind condition in a sand cloud, it makes a lot of sense for us to target the spellcaster or the main person that's going to be making us save and getting right in there. You are going to have a hard time casting spells, as well as even if you do get to cast spells, now I'm super resistant to them. Just imagine being a mage in this cloud. You can't target anything, you can't run effectively. Misty Step doesn't work because you have to be able to see in order to use it, and there is a mad desert person stabbing you over and over again. At this point, you might be thinking, as a mage, I'll just dimension door or plane shift out. And that's where our 11th level feature might ruin your day. At level 11, we get Magic User's Nemesis, which acts as a sort of counterspell. It's not super likely to stop because the spell save DC isn't going to be crazy because our wisdom isn't super high. When it does work, it's going to be super impactful, countering a dimension door, for example, just for a feature that recharges on a short rest. Overall, in combat, we're going to be engaging in a high-risk, high-reward playstyle. By diving in there and creating a fog cloud right at the beginning, we are really nerfing the enemy's ability to see, and we are being able to isolate the most dangerous threat and take them in a 1 versus 1 that is super advantageous to us, really helping our team out. However, we are out of position by diving in like that, so keep that in mind. Now, out of combat, we will be taking Pass Without Trace so we can enable and act as our infiltration squad. Using Speak with Animals and Beast Sense, which we each get once for free a day using our Tasha's variant feature, we are able to develop an animal companion even though we are not a Beastmaster, and I really like the idea of a falcon for this character. By using Speak with Animals, we can develop the relationship, and then by using Beast Sense, we can use it to scout from a bird's eye view. This can also be done with like a rat or spiders if you want to investigate indoors as opposed to outdoors. I just like the aesthetic of being a desert warrior who has a falcon. I just think that's cool and classic. At level 3, we get the Hunter's Sense ability, which allows us to detect what a creature is and what its strengths and weaknesses are. This is excellent in conjunction with Pass Without Trace. It's also good to use this on someone suspicious to find out if they're more than they seem. This is perfect for if we can do it before combat. It's usually not worth it to do it in combat, but if we can use this before combat and detect any weaknesses or learn that, hey, that person is a vampire even though they look like a human, that's great information to bring to the party. So in other words, we make better than normal scouts. During our downtime, we will try and find these upstart mages who are uncovering magical secrets best left hidden. We'll be trying to dissuade them one way or another and taking them out if necessary. We'll be making friends with animals who can help us on our journey, and we'll also be honing our skills and studying our prey. Moving into the key mechanics, dexterity is our primary, constitution is our secondary, and wisdom is our tertiary stats. Breastplate is going to be our best armor because we want to be sneaky. Using horses and interacting with other animals means that animal handling will be important to us. Now, I mentioned that we want to have horses fairly often, so I took the soldier background here because it specifically says that if we are interacting with someone who recognizes us as a soldier, they may give us a free horse to use, and it says borrow, so when it dies, we'll probably have to pay for it anyways. From our Tasha's variant feature, we also get 1 expertise, and I would either put it into perception or stealth, probably leaning a little bit more towards stealth. Moving into the weaknesses of the Mage Hunter, because we take 2 feats, we are going to have lower stats than many other characters at the same level. Our playstyle, as mentioned before, is high risk, high reward. Diving into enemy lines can prove deadly, especially because we're going in there with only 16 AC, which isn't a crazy high AC, it's kind of on the average end. So if we decide to run in directly at a mage and cast our Sand Cloud, if that mage counterspells, we are completely out of position. So counterspell is a hard counter to the Mage Hunter. And if we have our ability to attempt to counterspell back, well, we should use it right away. Because our charisma is so low, we're also hot garbage in social situations, and we should not be the face of the party. When it comes to a conversation that really matters, we're not the person to call on. We will be terrible. As an NPC, I would use the Mage Hunter in conjunction with his tribe while the party travels through the desert. If the tribe figures out that the party has powerful casters, they will no longer be welcomed and at worst will be attacked by the anti-magic specialist marshals. Could be a scary combat, especially in an open field on desert plains where they have horses and sand clouds popping up. That would be a very terrifying combat. If they don't have powerful casters or they are able to keep it hidden, they may find friends in the Dishy people. The keynote for me about playing the Mage Hunter is playing a anti-mage marshal with a high-risk, high-reward playstyle. Sounds like a lot of fun to me, even if potentially short-lived. If you enjoyed this video, we have a whole playlist of other flavor character builds that you're going to enjoy. We are D&D Daily. We release new D&D content every single day, so if that's interesting to you, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.